Hello and welcome to the Tarkus Zone. Thank you for joining me. Today we're going to be talking about the game Ars Notoria. Now I've done a few videos on this game. It's yet to be released. It's going to be opening up in early access soon, but I like to add a video every once in a while to my YouTube channel just so that people keep their eyes and their attention on this future game. It's going to be I have high hopes for it. It's going to be a good time, I believe. It's going to be a PvE experience where you're going to have crafting, base building, factions, NPC interactions. It's got all the things that I like to do in a video game, and it's got the multiplayer co-op part of it. It's a single player, but it's got online co-op. So what I want to do on this video, and this is what I normally do when I bring this game up and talk about it, I like bringing over the Discord channel and going over the answers that the developer has given to people's questions. So I'm not going to read the question. We're going to read the answers like I have in the other videos I did. And by just the answers alone, we're going to assume what the question was. So this is the developer here. And I've gone back a little while. I think I've gone back about 20 messages. There is a storyline with a quest progression. So the first goal is to complete the main quest line. During main quest, you will be joining an in-game faction and progressing through its ranks until becoming the leader eventually. And after completing the main storyline, the game becomes more open-ended. You can continue growing your faction, recruiting NPCs, capturing more territories, or just focus on exploration, building, and crafting. Alright, so I made a first-person mode for different weapons. At the moment, animations for first-person and third-person modes are identical. But ideally, we will need to make a separate set of animations designed specifically for first-person mode. This is kind of neat. Let me just bring one of these up here. Okay. That is neat as heck. I like the graphics. I like the effects. That's cool. Alright, let's look at the next one. Now this is another different, wow, this is, they're using an axe, it looks like, no, a mace. Looks like a morning star. Or he's swapping weapons from the morning star to, I think it's a morning star. Yeah. Okay, let's look at this one here. This is a different kind. Oh, it looks like it's a crossbow? Or maybe a gun of some sort? Maybe it's a gun. It's just the type of gun he's using. Alright. And then look at this. I like where the action bar is here at the bottom. That's true to a lot of games. This is them cutting trees down to obviously show you the harvesting part of the game so that you'll be able to build the graphics look amazing. And you can see over here where they are in a party. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4 of them in a party together, it looks like. Alright. Alright, thank you. Sure, everyone is welcome to participate in the testing. Yeah, I want to test this game. Sign me up. And it's a huge help to us. Right now, we are working on the testing build and trying to finish it as soon as possible. There will be a request access button on the Steam page once the game goes live. Alright. Alright. Okay. Hi, the early access version is not available yet, but we will launch a testing demo version soon, in a few weeks if everything goes well. Regarding the controller support, we plan to have it and want to check it out during the testing phase. Screen shaking is optional. It can be disabled in the settings. There are also different modes for first person. The one shown in GIFs is the true first person camera mode without any stabilization. Another mode has stabilization to reduce shaking. Here's the example. You got an axe in their hand. No shaking. Alright. That's good that they're smart to add that option. That when you do an action, the game shakes for the realism. But you got some people that can't handle that. They're gamers and they just can't handle that shaking. So they got an option for you to shut that off. Most likely, yeah. We don't have a Steam Deck kit, although we submitted an application some time ago. But generally, bringing the Unreal Engine game to Steam Deck shouldn't be much of a problem. So they want to try to bring it to the Steam Deck. Sure, showcasing testing builds is totally fine with us. Showcasing testing builds is totally fine with us. Would be nice to mention that they are early development builds through and bug issues. Yeah, when I do testing for anyone who asks me, any company or developer who asks me to do testing, or when I go into a testing environment, I always on my videos stress that this is early development. We're going to find, and things are subject to change. If you've been watching any of my videos, especially around Riven World, it's subject to change. What you see on the screen of me videotaping and going through it doesn't mean that's what it's going to be in the end product, especially if I'm recording as a streamer and I find this crippling bug. You got to know that that's going to get reported, and they're going to hope to fix it, and that won't be around for final release. That's the whole point of beta testing. So you gotta understand that early access means, early access, even the window of time for the year, because that's what they now do for Steam, is alpha, beta testing, early access. Early access goes for a year. Through that entire window of a year to the predecessors to beta and alpha, that's still all alpha beta testing. We're still working on our product. It wouldn't be an early access window. It'd be totally released, no early access, if it was a done product. But what they've done in the industry now is made this window, this 1 year window of early access, so the developer can say, look, we're doing all the changes we can, and we're going to be doing that over the next year to make sure that we're delivering a product from day one. So the early access release day really is just an extension of beta. But you get to play the game and you get to pay for the game. Money, money, money. That's the thing is, the developer gets their hands on some cash during early access, right? All right. Well, I guess that was the bottom of the questions. I'm just gonna go over here right here just to look at cherry pick. No, there wasn't more going on there. It looks like that was it for the communications that I wanted to go through on their Discord. Let's just go back to the page here just to look at the graphics again. I think the graphics look amazing. I think the concept, what they're trying to do here, is going to have mounts, it's going to have dungeons, it's going to have the multiplayer co-op. Now, the last thing they did was, no, that wasn't the last thing. December, yeah, maybe that was the last thing. I do suggest going to their Discord if you haven't joined up and you're interested in the game. Go to the Discord link, and I can provide that in the comments below. They're comparing this game to Valheim and Frozen Flame, two products that I have played in the past. And again, this is a PvE experience. So let's go to Community Hub. Let's go to discussions. Let's see if there's anything new. What are we to expect? Wow. Developer is even here. Look at this. What are we to expect? So I'm just going to read the developer. This developer has been really good at communicating with the community because they're on Discord answering questions. They're obviously here. And this was back in December 6th, it looks like. So it was a little while ago. And I imagine what they put here. The game is kind of a mixed RPG and survival gear genre. There are main and side quests, faction, squad management, NPCs, which are more common for an RPG. And then there is building, crafting, harvesting mechanics for survival games. So far, from the videos we've posted, people often compare to the survival part of the game of Valheim. Both the story part and the building crafting offer quite a lot of freedom. You will be able to join factions or guilds to complete their quest lines whenever you want. I'd say pretty similar to how it is in Skyrim. The building is also very open-ended. You can construct buildings of any size and configuration using a modular elements: walls, floors, doors, windows, pieces of furniture, etc. Anywhere in the playable region, If you destroy already placed buildings and modules, you'll get 100% of the resources back. so you can experiment freely without worrying about losing resources. Some games are like that. If you make a mistake, they charge you part of the resource gain back when you remove that mistake, so you only get a portion. This developer is going to say if you put an entire wall up and you take that entire wall down, you're getting all those materials back, so you can do something else, which is nice. Hunger and sleep mechanics. Hunger and sleep mechanics and pretty light compared to pure survival games. Characters won't lose health if they don't eat or sleep, but they will receive temporary bonus to stacks and recover some health while they do. So if you sleep and eat, you get an advantage, and if you don't get an advantage, is what they're saying. The bonuses last quite long, from 30 minutes to several hours in real time, so you won't need to refresh them too often. Okay, that's cool. And I apologize that my Discord is pinging while I'm doing this video. Meet Your Maker came out with their price point today, and I'll be doing a separate video on that next. But I want everyone to know that I am into this game. And, I don't know what their price point is going to be. If it's under $60, I'm in. I know that's high for a game, but I just paid $100 for Diablo 4. When I see a potential of a video game and its future potential or the longevity of the game in my mind, I put a price mark in my head. For this game, my price mark's around $60 because of what you're going to get from this game. Not to say that's what it's going to be, but that's how much I'm willing to pay for it. Maybe a little bit more depending on what I see, but I think that's a comfortable price point for what you're going to get with everything they've packaged into this game. And if it's light on bugs and it works the way they say it's supposed to be working, then that's a good price point. Now, normally games come out early access on the lighter side of the money. So you might look at this game might come out at $30, $35, maybe $40, which would be even better because you get a larger player base. I mean, when you charge a lot for your video game, fewer and fewer people join it on day one. And they'll wait for it to go on a Steam sale or a spring sale, or they'll wait for the developer to do something special where they reduce it for a window of time to get players to come in. I think this game, with what they're delivering here, what they're promising here, is going to be a very, very fun time, especially if you're going to play with friends and play in the same world environment. And build, and I love building games, really do. These are the requirements. Now, if you've got a potato computer, you might have a problem with this, but they're saying that it will run on Windows 7. So if you're running Windows 7 right now, I feel sad for you. But if this game can do that, then I can think that your potato computer will run it, probably on the low settings, because you're saying a GeForce GTX 4060 can run this game. So that's probably going to be at the lower settings. And it's going to take 20 gigabytes of storage, which shouldn't be a problem. Back in the day, 20 years ago, storage was always an issue. Now you can buy a terabyte external drive for what, $20? Or slave another drive in your box for under $20. I mean, or go get a bunch of flash sticks. I mean, it's just silly. Storage is not an issue with most people in today's technology, where technology is. So 20 gigabytes is not that big, but I mean, it could be if you've got a drive that's all crammed full of games, and you'll have to uninstall one game to get this one in. Then yeah, I guess if you play that many games right now, I've been playing on this box for over a year and a half. I've downloaded probably 100 games on this thing, and I've only used this much memory. And out of this much, I mean, it's crazy in what these newer computers can hold. All right, with all that said, get your eyes on this product, get your hands on this product when it comes out, and let's all have a good time playing it, right? All right, well, thank you for joining me. This has been the Tarkus Zone.